Welcome back to TPS. The 2020 retirement class was quite strong, featuring likely future Hall of Famers in Eli Manning, Marshal Yanda, Antonio Gates, Joe Staley, Luke Kuechly, and Eric Weddle. But the 2021 offseason retirement class could go down as the best ever. Several big-name stars and future Hall of Famers could very well call it quits after the 2020 season. Here are 12 primary candidates to do just that. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. 12. Greg Olsen. Many thought the three-time Pro Bowler would retire after the 2018 season as injuries began to pile up, but Olsen returned for the 2019 season and fared nicely with 52 receptions for 597 yards and 2 touchdowns, proving that he still has some quality football left in him. The retooling Carolina Panthers opted not to bring back Olsen, who signed a one-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks in free agency. Although Pete Carroll often succeeds in finding reclamation projects, it's hard to envision Olsen finding that top-notch form again. Foot injuries derailed Olsen's 2017 and 2018 campaigns. He's entering his age 35 season, and at this point, he's better off as a team's number 2 tight end. Olsen will get to work with an MVP-caliber quarterback in Russell Wilson, but don't be surprised if Seattle limits his offensive snaps. They have to keep him fresh at this phase of his career. So unless he discovers the fountain of youth and returns to near Pro Bowl form, expect Olsen to retire after the 2020 season. Number 11, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Just when you think the Fitz magic train runs out, he always comes back with a new team and puts on a handful of performances that essentially save his career. The journeyman quarterback was put in an awful situation last year. The Miami Dolphins were trying to tank, so they traded away almost every player on the roster. Fitzpatrick was stuck with very little talent, but he still made the most of it. Fitz led the Dolphins to big upsets against 2019 playoff squads in the Philadelphia Eagles and New England Patriots. His 320-yard, 2-touchdown game against the Pats in Week 17 ended their bid at a first-round bye, which essentially led to the end of Tom Brady's era. But the Dolphins drafted Tua Tagovailoa with the 5th overall pick, meaning Fitzpatrick will likely move back to the bench warmer role. He'll do his part in trying to mentor Tua, but Fitzpatrick's days as a starter could be done, and the man may have too much pride to stick around as a backup. So don't be surprised if 2020 is truly the final stop on the Fitz magic train. Number 10, Jason Witten. The perennial Pro Bowl tight end retired after the 2017 season and spent 1 year in the Monday Night Football broadcast booth before returning to the Dallas Cowboys in 2019. Witten put up decent numbers on a disappointing Dallas team with 63 receptions for 529 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then he went and signed a 1-year deal with John Gruden's Las Vegas Raiders in free agency this offseason. Witten will be the number 2 tight end behind 2019 breakout star Darren Waller, and it's safe to assume Witten won't have a huge role in the passing game, with Henry Ruggs and Tyrell Williams rounding out the receiving core. Witten's leadership and personality will mesh well with Gruden, the ultimate player's coach. It should be a fun year in Sin City, but Witten is entering his age 38 season, and if his production declines as much as we expect, the future Hall of Famer could very well decide to call it quits for good after 2020. Number 9, Jason Peters. What a story it's been. Peters will go down as one of the greatest undrafted players in NFL history. The veteran offensive tackle has pieced together a Hall of Fame-worthy resume with 9 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro, and 4 second-team All-Pro selections. Named to the 2010s All-Decade team, Peters was instrumental in helping the Philadelphia Eagles win Super Bowl 52, the first in franchise history. He's been a model of consistency, and Peters has embodied every major quality you look for in an offensive lineman. Peters struggled at times in 2019, however. According to Pro Football Focus, he was penalized 10 times and he allowed 3 sacks. With the Super Bowl already on his resume, he has little else to play for and nothing at all to prove. It's amazing that he's been this productive for this long, but it would be surprising if he opted to play past the 2020 season. Expect this to be the final year of his likely Hall of Fame career. Number 8, LeSean McCoy. He didn't produce as much as many hoped and expected, but LeSean McCoy finally won a Super Bowl ring with the Kansas City Chiefs last season. Reuniting with Andy Reid turned out to be a brilliant move on McCoy's end, but the 6-time Pro Bowler has seen a massive decline in production over the last 2 years. McCoy had just 514 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Buffalo Bills in 2018, averaging a mere 3.2 yards per carry. In his one season with the Chiefs, McCoy had just 465 yards and 4 touchdowns. McCoy can still serve as a backup running back. Veterans like him, Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore still have value. It's hard for any running back to produce when they're on the wrong side of 30. Add it all up, and it looks like 2020 will be McCoy's final NFL season. Number 7, Rob Gronkowski. Like Witten, Gronk spent 1 year in retirement before deciding he wanted to play football again. The latter spent 1 month with the WWE before opting to reunite with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. And Bill Belichick was more than happy to trade Gronk to the Buccaneers for a 4th-round pick. But how much juice does Gronk have left in him? Injuries really piled up on him, and 2018 was his worst season as a pro. The 3-time Super Bowl champion lost some of his speed and dominance in the red zone. Will a year away mean a fresh Gronk in 2020? Or will Gronk be affected by all those injuries and rust? We wouldn't be surprised if this was just a 1-year unretirement for Gronkowski, really. If he doesn't bring back that Pro Bowl form, Gronk might decide to quit while he's ahead and explore other opportunities in the entertainment industry. Number 6, Adrian Peterson. This man has displayed consistency and longevity like few other running backs in NFL history. Simply remarkable. We're in an era where the running back position is devaluing. Think about how many top-tier backs declined by their 30th birthday. Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, DeMarco Murray, Chris Johnson, and the list goes on. But here's Peterson entering his 14th NFL season, still performing like a number 1 running back. He had 1,042 yards and 7 touchdowns for Washington in 2018, and he followed it up with 898 yards and 5 touchdowns in 2019. We hate saying this, but all good things must come to an end, and AP can't sustain this consistent production forever. Washington has plenty of young talent in the backfield now, so expect Peterson's role to diminish a bit, and the guy probably doesn't want to stick around as a number 2 or 3 back. His spot in the Hall of Fame is guaranteed, no debating that. It's been an excellent ride for the 2012 MVP, but don't be shocked if he calls it quits after the 2020 season. 5, Jason Kelce. The Philadelphia Eagles center is taking it 1 year at a time. It certainly seems as though he's considered retirement before, but Kelce decided to give it at least one more go in 2020. The 3-time Pro Bowler helped the Eagles win Super Bowl 52, and he remains the anchor of that offensive line. But like the others on this list, Kelce doesn't have a whole lot more to prove. If he loses the desire to keep playing, he's going to quit while he's ahead. Obviously, the Eagles hope that Kelce will stick around past 2020, but even though he remains one of the game's elite offensive linemen, Kelce doesn't seem fully keen on playing too much longer. Eagles fans should brace for the possibility of 2020 being his last season in the NFL. Number 4, Frank Gore. We were praising Adrian Peterson's longevity in the NFL, but Frank Gore is in a class of his own here. The 5-time Pro Bowler signed on for his 16th NFL season, this one with the New York Jets. It marks the 3rd straight year where Gore will play for an AFC East club too. He was a Dolphin in 2018 and Bill in 2019. Now it's time to fly with Adam Gase and the Jets. But unlike Peterson, Gore isn't a starting running back anymore. He's better off as a number 2 or 3 option, and he won't be taking over for Pro Bowler Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. He'll complement Bell instead. Gore sits 3rd all-time in rushing yards. It's always a joy watching him fight off Father Time while producing quality numbers at this age, but we say this every year, it has to end eventually. It's been a remarkable journey, but there's a really good chance that Gore rides off into the sunset after 2020. Number 3, Philip Rivers. Some folks wondered if Rivers would retire after a really disappointing 2019 season with the Los Angeles Chargers. Instead, he decided to take his talents to Indianapolis, signing a 1-year, $25 million deal with the Colts. Rivers admitted that he would have thought about retirement if he didn't find the right fit. On top of that, Rivers has stated that he'll play 2 more years max. So it'll go one of 2 ways. Rivers turns back the clock, has a great year in Indy and returns in 21, or he plays poorly, shows his age, and decides to retire. It's one or the other, folks. Rivers should be inducted into Canton when his playing career ends, but does he have another magical season or 2 in that arm? Or was 2019 the beginning of the end for his career? Stay tuned. Number 2, Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has been taking it 1 year at a time, stressing that he isn't playing for anybody other than the Arizona Cardinals. They've wasted his last few prime years, but with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins in the fold, the Cardinals could be a powerhouse in Fitzgerald's twilight years. Fitz turned in a remarkable age 36 season in 2019, catching 75 passes for 804 yards and 4 touchdowns. If he keeps playing at a level like that, Fitzgerald may be intent on playing until he really has nothing left, especially if the Cardinals emerge as a playoff contender. But again, it's a year-to-year situation for Fitzgerald. If he regresses in 2020, he'll likely retire while he's ahead. If he and Hopkins form the ultimate super duo at receiver, then there's a chance Fitz will return in 2021. It could go either way though. Just sit back and enjoy the Fitzgerald show while it's still running. And number 1, Drew Brees. There was some speculation that Brees would retire after 2019. At the same time, you knew that he wasn't going to go out following another gut-wrenching playoff defeat. Like others on this list, it's a year-to-year thing for Brees. The all-time passing yards and passing touchdowns king has continued to fight off Father Time alongside Tom Brady. Brees entering his age 41-42 season could realistically play another 2 or 3 years. But does he want to? It's certainly got to be in his mind right now, and if the Saints finally win that elusive second Super Bowl title, Brees may follow in the footsteps of John Elway and Peyton Manning and retire on top. For Brees, life is bigger than football. He has a family he wants to spend more time with, and he's always busy with his off-season charitable works. He's certainly not going to be bored when he retires. We'll say it's 50-50. There's a real good shot that Brees retires, but also a good shot that he keeps on playing until he can't do it at a high level anymore. All we can say to Saints fans is this: treasure every remaining moment you have with Brees as your quarterback. His days are numbered. What other NFL players are most likely to retire after the 2020 season? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do that by hitting that subscribe button down there. If you like the video, then like the video. We'd really appreciate it. And last but not least, don't forget to tune in to TPS every single day for more cool videos. We'll see you next time.